Okay, now that you've got the body painted, I've installed a little screw eye into the neck pocket there, and you can see I've taken a cord to just hang it from a ceiling or whatever's convenient for you. Something so that I can access the front and the back at the same time. And now I'm going to put a clear finish on this. I'm using a gloss finish, and this is a lacquer based product. So we used a lacquer spray paint, lacquer sanding sealer, and a lacquer based clear coat. And just like before, I'm concentrating on the sides, and then I want to start putting a nice smooth even coat on the back and the front. You can see I can rotate this around and handle it quite easily. And now I've worked my way around to the front. And then you're going to let this coat dry for about 2 hours. And like before, you want to just continue repeating this process for as many number of coats as you desire. Lightly sand it, spray it, let it dry. Now the difference here is that once you're finished, this has to cure for 2 weeks. Not just dry, but to fully cure. And then once that 2-week period of time has passed, we can start wet sanding and doing our final finish on the guitar body. And I'm just using a sponge, something here to hold the sandpaper, and I'm going to use a series of wet paper starting with an 800 grit, then I'm going to move to 1000, and then I'm going to finish up with a 1500 grit. These are automotive type sandpapers. And then we're also going to use, in the final stage, a buffing pad with polishing compound. Okay, now I've just got a bowl of water here, and I'm going to soak the sandpaper in this. And you can let this soak for quite a long time. It's not going to hurt it any at all. I'm actually going to get the sponge a little wet as well, and I'm just going to drip a little water on here. This kind of acts as a lubricant while you're sanding. And I'm just going to work in some small slow circles and just cover the body of the guitar. And remember, you're not after removal of the finish you've just applied. You're just trying to smooth everything out and get it as smooth as possible. If you see any little specks of dust or any little defect in the finish, you want to address that. But our goal here is just to get it as smooth as glass. And I want to move over and sand the back as well. And you're going to work the back in the same sort of circular motion. And then once we've worked our way through those 3 grits, I'm going to start with the polishing compound. And remember, work your way down through all 3 of those grits before you start this segment. As you can see, I'm just going to take a little cloth and put a little of the polishing compound onto the guitar. And theoretically, you can do this by hand. As far as the actual, buffing and polishing, you can use. They make, buffing pads that you can do this all by hand if you wish. I think you get a lot nicer finish with the drill. This is easy enough to use. And it's not an expensive tool to use either. But you can see how I just sort of lightly touch the body, and I'm just going to work my way around and polish the top, and make sure you get your sides. Be careful that you don't burn through the finish. If you hold the buffer in one spot long enough, you will burn the finish. But you can see once you've sanded and buffed, you get a real nice mirror finish on your guitar. And you want to do the same thing with the sides and the back. It's not bad for hardware spray paints.